We'll have live commentary throughout the afternoon, welcoming Dover fans too, but we are here primarily to support the Terrors. Weymouth against Dover. Before the two teams come out and I give you the starting lineups, I will say hello to our Weymouth summariser, former Terrors player and manager Ian Hutchinson. Good afternoon, Hutch.
Good afternoon, Cliff. Good afternoon, everyone. Looking forward to this one. Like you say, Weymouth have got a good record in recent times against Dover. I think they've scored 7 in the last couple of games against them as well, so be good to see some goals here today with a new strike force as well in Harry Parsons and Rutherford. Very excited to see them two up front. That's what Weymouth have been lacking, goals, and hopefully they can produce today. Certainly a great chance of getting 3 points on the board, and then Weston-super-Mare twice over the Christmas period. If they can get 7 points out of 9, got to be happy with that, and that's what they should be looking at. That's what Bobby Wilkinson should be looking at over this period.
And although they were very pleased with the performance and the result at Chippenham last weekend, a 1-1 draw, if they don't win today, other results go against them. They could have spent Christmas in the relegation zone. They don't want that.
Not at all, and certainly Bobby Wilkinson doesn't want that. He's come under a lot of pressure of late, which in a way, you know, the fans pay the money, they want to see good football, they want to see the team winning. It is hard, his budget's not the best, but he's got lots of players in, he's trying different methods and it hasn't been working. But, you know, they've drawn a few when they should have maybe won, lost a few, etc. So they really need to start picking up points now to ease the pressure on the manager. You know, he wears his heart on his sleeve, and of late though he has been coming under a lot of pressure.
That's Ian Hutchinson who'll help me call the game this afternoon. We'll also try and keep our best to keep tabs on all the other games across the south, from our other commentary games to the myriad of non-league games across Hampshire, Dorset and the Isle of Wight, to try to tell you about when we take when we get a break in play. Especially we'll try and look at the other scores. Ivan the Terrible, the club's mascot, I haven't seen him for a while. He's out trying to whip up a bit of atmosphere here. Not the largest crowd, which is a bit of a surprise, so festive games normally well attended, and we've got about a dozen mascots there with well, Union flags, but with a bit of waiting to welcome the two teams onto the pitch. Weymouth have made 2 changes from the draw at Chippenham Town. Tom Bearwish is back to captain the team in the middle of the park, and Alfie Rutherford, on loan from National League Dorking, comes straight into the squad up front. Dropping out of the squad today is Olu Jurajai. We'll have to find out why he's not in the squad today, and dropping to the bench, number 9, Dan Roberts. So the team today for Weymouth is Gerard Benfield in goal, Teddy Howe, Joe Cook, Jordan Thompson and Leo Hamblin in defence, Tom Bearwish and Charlie Rowan in sort of central midfield, Joel Rollinson and Brandon Goodship wide in midfield, and up front the new on loan strike partnership of Harry Parsons on loan from Maidstone and Alfie Rutherford on loan from Dorking. The two teams come out onto the pitch. Substitutes today: Ezio Torre, Dan Roberts, Keelan O'Connell, Tyreke Clark and Elliot Bolton. 2 forwards, 2 midfielders and a defender for Bobby Wilkinson if he needs to make a change. Weymouth in light blue with the terracotta sleeves and shorts and blue socks, or Dover, the Whites, are in white today with black shorts and socks. Their side is David Azaya in goal. At the back, John Oyanuga, Bailey Akehurst, Jacob Mensah, former Weymouth player, Scott Holding and Charlie Naylor. Midfield, Nick Dembele, James Dunn the captain, George Wilkinson. Up front, George Nikaj and Zedan Sutherland. Their subs, if they want to use them, are Henry Young, Roman Charles, Cook, Luke Baptiste, Archie Hatcher and Iffy Allen. And Dover sacking manager Mitch Brundle after the recent defeat at Havant and Waterlooville, which a game I commentated on with Sean Gale. They lost 4-3 to drop to the bottom. They've changed the manager, and he was very pleased with his start. A goalless draw at home to Bath City. The new manager, Jake Labelle, who's got, actually in his first games, got their only clean sheet of the season so far. So you do get that sometimes, the manager bounce. It would be easy for Weymouth to look at the table, say Dover have bottomed, Dover haven't won in months, this is an easy 3 points, but the reality is they drew 0-0 with Bath City, they've got a new manager, it might not be that easy, Ian.
Absolutely, a new manager comes in, everyone wants to impress, new philosophy, new way of playing, so it's a great result against Bath City last week for them as well. So I feel a bit sorry for them. 23rd of December, what a journey that is for them today. I thought the league could have sorted that out a bit better for Dover, but hopefully that'll work in Weymouth's favour today. A long journey, a bit leggy, but they'll have a little spring in the step. Dover, as I say, that new manager, and Mensah, who we know, centre half, he did really well under Mark Mosley, a good partnership alongside Revan at the time, so they've got some decent players, and Weymouth, they can't think this is going to be easy today, because they've had a good spell against them in recent months. It's going to be a tough game, but hey, to be honest, they should be winning this today.
Stephen Hughes is our referee, assisted by Sean Phillips and Callum McFarlane. The ball is on the centre spot, and Dover, who are shooting from left to right, are about to get us underway. Wilkinson, who scored a cracking goal for Dover the other week at Westerleigh Park against Havant and Waterlooville, is going to get us underway when we hear the first blast of the referee's whistle. It is a dry but grey overcast day here on the south coast at the Bob Lucas Stadium. We are underway in a very important game in the National League South for the bottom club Dover, and the team just outside the relegation zone, Bobby Wilkinson's Weymouth. Long ball forward instantly from Dover. First touch for Gerard Benfield, who's in a luminous yellowy green top, bit like a highlighter pen. He looks like the kit does anyway. He's caught the ball and he's going to roll it out to the edge of the area and get his first kick of the game up towards the centre circle, where Bearwish knocks it hopefully forward, and the defender, they've got a defender wearing a big headband there, clears it for Dover. And as Dover attack down the left-hand side, Joe Cook gets his first touch and puts it out of play for a throw to the white. So we've got 3 players on loan joining in the month of December. Joe Cook, number 4 on loan from Dorking. Alfie Rutherford, 15 on loan from Dorking. And Harry Parsons, number 12 on loan from Maidstone United. And Charlie Naylor is the player with the bandages around his head today for Dover Athletic. Long ball for Weymouth down the right-hand side. Good bit of control on his knee with Alfie Rutherford. Knocks it off for the Terrace to come on an attack. Here we come with Brandon Goodship, touches it, and with his right boot floats it up towards Rutherford, who can't get his head on the end of it. And at the back it's James Dunn, former Portsmouth player, very experienced player, the captain of Dover, who breaks up the attack and gets it away down the left-hand side. And Dover through the middle, playing the ball, intercepted at the back from Weymouth, who bring it away with Leo Hamblin, who's surging down the left-hand side, didn't really have any support, looking for options to pass to. In the end, he was out-muscled by the last Dover defender. Nickage, long-range shot. The keeper is out of his goal, but he got his technique all wrong and picked up easily by Joe Cook. Bit of a scrappy start. I know we're in a couple of minutes in, but all seems to be pretty long ball at the moment. Now out on the right wing is Alfie Rutherford. Cuts it into the middle, sliding tackle from one, number 12, gets it away from the other. Akehurst of Dover got there just before Parsons of Weymouth. Bit of a scrappy start, Ian.
Yeah, it's a scrappy start, probably as expected really. It's a bit blustery out there as well, but it looks like a 4-4-2 for Weymouth. Maybe a 4-4-1-1. Parsons just playing behind, sort of Rutherford peeling off him, but Goodship on the left and Rollington on the right, with Bearwish and Rowan sitting in the middle of the park. Good to see the new signings out there. I think it's what they've needed. They've been lacking that quality really. I still think they need a centre midfielder, someone who can pull the strings with that bit of quality. You can't fault the endeavour at all, the work rate from Weymouth throughout the season, but I have said many a time they are lacking that quality. Someone can just bring a spark to the game, put his foot on the ball, pick a pass.
Yeah, had a supporter come up to me before the game predicting a 0-0, and I told him I don't believe it, especially as Alfie Rutherford's out there. When I followed Havant and Waterlooville in the National League around the country, he was scoring a goal a game in a struggling team. And here he's put a bit of pressure on the defender, who's cleared his lines for Dover with his keeper in no man's land. Up the right wing come Dover Athletic, but the Terrors win the throw. Jordan Thompson, good defending from him. And Leo Hamlin wants to take the throw. He's telling Nikaj to get away from it. You don't have to be a set distance away from a throw. As far as I know, it's not a 10 yards like any other set piece. Weymouth going forward. This is Parsons out to the left-hand side, crosses into the area. Flag was up for offside. Parsons and Goodship linking well. The cross I don't think would have found a teammate, but the offside flag up anyway.
Yeah, Goodship should have known better there. He's wide on the left-hand side. You can see right across the line, and he's about a yard offside. So that's proof from Goodship. In fairness to him, in recent weeks, he has looked a lot better. He came into the club, there's a lot of excitement about it, but he hasn't delivered. But in recent weeks, I must say, I've been really impressed with his performances.
Dover launch another long ball attack down the right-hand side, and as it bounced towards the centre-forward, Gerard Benfield in goal, coming out and claiming the ball. Benfield wasn't in the team recently, but he's back as number one.
Yeah, I think he had an injury, didn't he? So I think they brought two loan lads in, didn't they? One from Brighton, we saw Haven, who did really well second half. But Benfield seems to be back, and he seems to be the number one choice. So yeah, it has been a bit of an issue for them in recent weeks. But as I say, he's back and seems fully fit, and he's got the number one spot back.
0-0 here in the early stages. Weymouth throw as Oyanuga won the header ahead of Rutherford. Rutherford puts the pressure on as they try and play it back to the keeper, who clears the ball. It's going to go from one keeper through to the other. Just a little bit lacking in quality at the moment, as you might expect between two teams near the bottom of the table that are not in the greatest of form. And Dover could get off the bottom today if they win and have an Waterloo will slip up at Truro. Weymouth could drop in if the bottom four if things go against them, but could move further away, of course, if they get the 3 points that the home fans are expecting today. As a year, as a calendar year, we of course we had the euphoria of that great escape from relegation, but 6 months on, we're almost back in a similar position. Is that seemingly where Weymouths are going to fit and at the moment, unless they've got a massive injection of cash just to be a lower mid-table team with one eye on the relegation zone?
I think Weymouth should be looking mid-table by the end of the season. That's what everyone's thoughts were. I don't think any better than that, but they're still in the midst of that relegation battle, and say if they lose today, they're right back in it again. And you know, it's Christmas, there's a few months obviously after Christmas, and it's the business end of the season, isn't it? And as I said, they need a little bit more quality still. I think he's looking for that midfielder in the centre of the park.
So it's a free kick to Dover. Hamlin just caught the shirt of Nikaj, so it's going to be taken by number 14, George Wilkinson. And Weymouth get everybody except Alfie Rutherford behind the ball with a bank of 5 and a bank of 4. As Wilkinson floats a free kick, which is thumped away by Joe Cook. And it's with Goodship down the left wing. His through ball can't quite find Rutherford. And Akehurst gets it back to his keeper. Isaiah, who's on loan from Bromley after Billy Terrell, who used to play for Weymouth, was recalled from Dover on his loan to go back to AFC Bournemouth. Dover, long ball up from the back. Controlled out on the right-hand side by the 20, Nick Dembele. Dembele's got a player overlapping, that's Oyanuga. Cross deflects into the penalty area. Thompson chests it down and puts it out of play for a throw, I think. So the part of the ground we can't see perfectly the corner flag. It's going to be a throw right by the corner flag to Dover. Important afternoon for both teams. Wilkinson, edge of the area, shows some skills. Does find his teammate. Number 10 takes a shot. Cleared off the line there. He took a shot from an acute angle, did Nikaj. But a Weymouth player back in the 6-yard box, clearing the ball. Dover have made the better start, Ian Hutchinson.
Yeah, good bit of pressure from Dover. Looking to sort of play in a full 1-2-3 sort of formation, with Charlie Naylor just sitting in front of the back four. But it was a good effort there from Dover on this right-hand side. Weymouth have got to be very careful. But it's very, very scrappy. Don't think we've seen 2 passes put together yet. And that's what I'm talking about, this quality of just someone sitting in the middle of the park, picking the passes, getting the team playing a bit more. Very, very scrappy.
Bearwish took a bit of a knock. It's a free kick to Weymouth in their own half. Oyanuga, the player, getting a talking to from the referee. Oyanuga joined Easterley from Farnborough a couple of years ago, but I think only made a couple of appearances for the Spitfires. Spitfires, our only team left non-league wise in the FA Cup. In the 3rd round they are at Newport County in the new year. On the Isle of Wight, a first-minute goal gave Cowes Sports the lead over Fareham Town. Cowes Sports having one of their best seasons in the Wessex League that I can ever remember, threatening to get up towards the southern. Here are Weymouth, edge of the area with Parsons. Too many defenders around him. Bearwish picks up the loose ball. Goodship wants the pass. Bearwish has touched it off to Parsons, who's 1-2. Hits the hand of the defender. He's furious with the decision. The crowd call for handball. It hit his arm. I don't know if it was the upper or lower part. The number 26, Scott Holding, the youngster on loan from Watford. Free kick to Weymouth in a dangerous position.
Yeah, harsh decision for that for me. His arms are right by his side, not in an unnatural position. I can see his anger there. That was never a free kick for me. There's a lot of talk about this handball rule, isn't it? But his hands were right by his side, not in an unnatural position. Not a free kick for me, but a great opportunity for Goodship. 20-25 yards out.
10 minutes in. Weymouth's first chance to get a shot on goal. Brandon Goodship shaping to shoot from this free kick. He's got a 5-man wall to try and get the ball around. Goodship takes a shot from the free kick, just over the top, beat the wall, curled and just dipped over, covered by David Azire in goal, who just put up one arm to let everybody know that he would have got there had it been on target. But not a bad free kick, but not on target, Hutch.
Yeah, decent ever, one of those, getting it up and over, but couldn't keep it down. Is a good yard over the bar, never troubling the goalkeeper, but half decent effort.
And interesting that Goodship has had a bit of return to first team football, return to goal scoring and assists at the start of the season. It looked like maybe his signing wasn't having the desired effect, and maybe he wouldn't last too long here, but actually sort of had a second wind.
Absolutely, yeah. As I say, there was a lot of excitement when he came back, but got to remember he was scoring goals at the league below this, and then he struggled ever since. He went to Southend with Mark Mosley, and he's come back again, and it hasn't worked for him. But in recent weeks, as I say, he's perked up a bit, and football is all about confidence. Have a couple of good games, the manager gets behind you and things change. It's amazing what it can do for you, and it is good to see, because he has got a bit of talent, the lad.
Our other commentary games are all on traditional radio. You can't find them online. Hamblin crosses it in the air for Weymouth. Good bit of defending at the back from Holding, getting it away. Other commentaries, those games are all goalless at the moment. Bournemouth have travelled to Nottingham Forest, Southampton away to QPR, and Pompey at home to Fleetwood, all goalless in the early stages. And in the National League, Eastleigh also goalless against Dorking last time the score was updated. 2 Dorking players playing here today. Can't get in that team. Alfie Rutherford, one of them, and Joe Cook, the other, both bolstering Bobby Wilkinson's ranks in the Weymouth starting 11. Long ball from Benfield up to the right wing. Nodded down from Weymouth, but nodded out of play for a Dover Athletic throw. Yeah, after winning on the last day of the season, Hutch was at the Great Escape. Then I was at the league game that they won 3-1. And then there was a 4-4 in the FA Trophy that Weymouth won on penalty shootout. But hopefully 4 wins in a row for Weymouth against Dover. Traditionally, Dover have had the better of Weymouth down the years. But as I say, those last 3 games particularly memorable.
Absolutely, and certainly the last game of the season. I was there with Tom doing the commentary, and it was a fantastic performance. You wouldn't have thought there were a team at the bottom.
Chance for Weymouth, edge of the area. Parsons, though, couldn't put his foot on it, and it's cleared by Naylor out of defence.
Yeah, so, you know, in recent times they've certainly had the better of them, haven't they? And it's even Stevens at the moment, really, as I say, very scrappy. Not many passes being put together. I mean, it's a very windy, blustery day. The ball's been in the air a lot. Just get it down and get it on the grass and try and pick a few passes. But at this present time, it is very, very scrappy.
Well, you've got someone on loan like Alfie Rutherford. You want to try and give him some service, I would suggest. Alfie Rutherford first caught the eye playing for his dad at Wessex League Moneyfields and moved on to Bognor Regis and then Havant and Waterloo, and then he scored, and even with Dorking he scored a hatful of goals, won multiple promotions. It's an opportunity for Dover. Long range shot comes in and is wide of the target. Out on the left hand side the ball broke kindly to Nick Dembele, but the former Gosport Borough player out on the left hand side couldn't find the target, and a let-off maybe for Weymouth and a goal kick for the Terrors.
Yeah, big let-off again there for the Terrors. Dembele broke nicely to him, running down the left-hand side. Ben Fields decided to come for the ball. He was on about the 18-yard box. All it was needed was a little dink, little chip, bit of composure to just chip it over Benfield, but he's pulled it and hooked it wide, so that's a big let-off for Weymouth. Two of the best chances coming for Dover, really.
Bearwish hooks the ball, hopefully over his shoulder. Dover's defence pick it up. Then Charlie Rowan tries to put the pressure on Oyanuga, who goes back to his keeper, Isaiah, whose clearance isn't the greatest, and Weymouth might capitalise on that one. Rowan with the outside of his boot out to the right-hand side. Ball in towards Parsons, and now to Rollinson. Cuts it into the middle, can't quite find Rutherford. Not a bad move from Weymouth, but the cross into the area was blocked, and Dover get it away. And Dover now try to get the defence splitting pass forward, and racing out of his goal is Gerard Benfield to clear the danger for now. Oyanuga back forward. Weymouth win the header. Wilkinson nods it down. Cook brings it out of defence for Weymouth FC. One of three players on loan with the Terrors. Out to the right hand side now to Teddy Howe. Getting it forward to Parsons on the right hand side. Harry Parsons. Now ball into the area towards Rutherford. Keeper comes out and gathers the ball. A long ball coming in towards Alfie Rutherford there. And he put a bit of pressure on the keeper, but the keeper was undeterred. Oyanuga gets it forward. Good ship blocks in throw to Dover Athletic. Yeah, not the one-sided game Weymouth were hoping for here. It's very even, isn't it?
It is even. It is even. I said the wind might be playing a factor as well, but just looking at Weymouth there, they're getting the best joy by going down the flanks, and that's what if I was Bobby Williams, I'd be saying get the ball wide, get the ball into good ship on the left, get into Rollinson on the right, and let's see if we can get a few crosses in, because everything's seemingly down the middle at the moment and having no real effect on the game or effect on Dover defensively.
Here come the Terrors. This is Harry Parsons. He's in the Dover half, out to Bearwish on the right-hand side. Plays 1-2 with Rollinson into the. He's going to win the game's first corner. Bearwish wins the corner, hits the defender. And out on the right-hand side, Brandon Goodship goes to take the corner. On the Isle of Wight, Cows Sports are 2-up on Fareham Town. They're having a great season, the Yachtsmen. Here it's a corner to Weymouth from the right-hand side, delivered by Brandon Goodship. It curls, it's cleared. It went over two Weymouth players who tried to head the ball, but Dover getting it away. And then Teddy Howe goes shoulder to shoulder with Zidane Sutherland. Sutherland had quite an influential game at Havant and Waterloo the other week, although I don't think he had his proverbial shooting boots on. Today he's a much more lonely figure on the left-hand side. Parsons on the edge of the area is brought down. It's a free kick to Weymouth, another one in just about 3 or 4 yards outside the penalty area, and Goodship is going to take it again. Okay, the first one was about a foot over the bar, maybe. Hopefully this one will test the keeper, or maybe hopefully find the back of the net.
Yeah, very similar position, but on the other side of the box this time. Good little play by Parsons there, good feet, winning the free kick. A definite foul there, and it's amazing how there's only Brandon Goodship over the ball. You'd think there'd be a couple vying for a go. So Goodship had a right footer from the left hand side, now he's going to go right foot on the right hand side. So hopefully whip it across the goal.
Brandon Goodship's free kick for Weymouth. Oh, saved by the goalkeeper. It was heading for the top right-hand corner, but moving to his left. Keeper David Azaya got both hands on it, both gloves, and he's turned it around for another corner. Much better free kick this time.
Absolutely, really tested the goalkeeper, and a great save from the keeper in the end. So a really decent effort there from Goodship, earned a corner.
Goodship delivers the ball into the area. It's going to fall to Thompson. It's outside the box now, but Jordan Thompson gets it back to Tom Bearwish. There's still 4 Weymouth players in the penalty area. Bearwish going down the left wing. Oh, he's brought down on the edge of the area. That's another free kick. Eventually, I think the referee will have to show a yellow card for persistence, but this is the 3rd free kick in a very dangerous position. Charlie Naylor, the player with the bandages around his head, bringing down Bearwish, who with using both feet there, and quite a nice attack down the left-hand side. Now, this is a much more acute angle. If you're Goodship, do you try and shoot or try and cross it to the back post?
I think you just got to put it in an area, haven't you? It's one of those, a shot come cross, isn't it? And you just got to whip it with a bit of pace on it, and it could flash across the keeper and go in the corner of the goal. So be interesting to see what he does here, but you just got to whip it with a bit of pace.
Goodship's free kick floated to the back post. Diving header is wide of the target. So close to the game's opening goal. One of the defenders up from the back, I think it was Cook, launched himself at it, got a header wide. He was appealing, he was pushed in the back. Nice move, but ultimately no goal, and a goal kick to Dover.
Yeah, really good effort. Good that Brandon Goodship did exactly the opposite of what I said, of whipping it hard. He's just floated at the back post, and Cook's got on the end of it, but really good defending in the end. He just put Cook off enough for him to head it wide. But better from Weymouth this last 5-10 minutes. Got the crowd going as well. Bit sombre to start with the crowd, but they've got going now, and they've got to keep this going now till half-time. They're in the ascendancy at the moment, certainly Weymouth.
Still 0-0, but if Dover made the better start to the game, Weymouth definitely waking up, and we had 3 set pieces from Goodship. 1 just over, 1 saved well, and 1 almost giving Cook a goal, his first goal for the club. Not to be. Last time I checked, in the Southern League, which is the league below this one, incredibly every game except 2 of 11 games was goalless. But Basingstoke were 1-1 with the bottom club Didcot. 11 games and only 3 goals midway through the first half across the whole league. Poole Town are playing, which is the first home game for the Dolphins in over 2 months. They've had an abandonment because of fog and lots of postponements because of the rain. They've finally got a game on today, so hopefully they haven't forgotten how to play at home. They are at home to Harrow Borough today, 0-0 at the moment. Your son Harry plays for Poole Town, but not today.
No, he was with mine last night, and he had a cough and a temperature, and he's woke up this morning feeling as though he's been hit by a bus, so he's obviously come down with a virus. A big shame, because he loves to play and he never likes to miss a game, but I think it's best that he missed it, because he could pass things on to other players as well, and I'm sure the manager won't want that in this busy period, but hopefully he'll be back very shortly.
Get well soon. Harry Hutchinson, a Dover attack breaks down, giving Weymouth a chance to attack down the right-hand side themselves. Parsons towards Rutherford. Control not the best. Alfie Rutherford back to goal. Got to manoeuvre around the referee here and try and find one of his teammates. It's too far out for a shot. Parsons and Bearwish. Bearwish knocked off the ball, but legally, says the referee, and surging forward come Dover Athletic, and a nice ball out to the left-hand side. And a cross coming into the area. Falls for Nikaj, who shot his block. That was extremely dangerous. It looked like the shot was heading for the bottom left-hand corner, but it only got a yard or 2 before it was blocked by one of the Weymouth defenders. Hamblin it was, and a bit of a crucial one, that.
Yeah, looked very dangerous on the break there. On the counter-attack, Dover got down the left-hand side, and Hamlin did well in the end to defend it. But I would like to see Howe and Hamlin getting more involved in the game. Fullbacks pushing on in this day and age. They've got a lot of energy about the pair of them. It'd be good to see them push on these last 10 minutes. Yeah, you've got to be careful for the counter, but the fit lads should be up and down, and the good players, good energy about them, and got good delivery. So I'd like to see them getting the game a little bit more going forward, certainly.
Elsewhere in the National League South, again, there's not many goals around at all. Chelmsford lead Torquay by a 1-0, thanks to Jenkins. And Weston-super-Mare are 1-1 at Hampton and Richmond. Weston-super-Mare, the next team that Weymouth face on Boxing Day. A trip north and west up to the coast for the Terrace before the fixtures reversed for New Year's Day. And if we look at the current live table, Weymouth still a point and a place outside the relegation zone as things stand. The worst thing for them would be a victory for Eastbourne Borough today. Eastbourne are at home to Yeovil, so a tough one. So we would hope that Weymouth's rivals can do them a favour today. Back to the action, it's goalless here, and it's a throw to Weymouth just on the far side, just inside Dover's half. Weymouth have had the better chances coming from Goodship's set pieces, but it's been a pretty scrappy and even game in fairness. Up towards Rutherford, edge of the area, controls on his chest. Bearwish manages to nod it forward, and Rowan tussling with Wilkinson. Bearwish gets the ball. 15, Rutherford. What are his options? He's trying to play it down the right-hand side, but the other 15, Naylor, gets the better of him, and then Naylor into the back of Parsons. That's a foul, and Weymouth have a free kick out on the right wing. Still 0-0 here in our Radio Solent non-league commentary. Some new players for us to look at today. At the moment, no one in either team is really standing out at the moment in terms of the first quarter of this match.
No, it's hard for Rutherford and Branson up front. Parsons up front, should I say, not Ranson, apologies, because they're not having much service at all. As I say, that's try and get the ball wide. Can we get crosses in, then get on the end of that from that point of view? But it's scrappy, isn't it? So it is hard. The new lads finding the feet, certainly Rutherford's first game. So as
Teddy Howe's on a run, takes a shot. He dribbled from almost halfway to the edge of the penalty area, but his shot didn't trouble David Azire. It curled actually towards the goalkeeper, who gathers it in both his gloves.
Yeah, good to see, as I said, Teddy Howe there getting forward in the ascendancy. That's what we want to see with him and Hamlin. It's where they're good. They're attacking full-backs. Really not causing any problems down the width, so why not push them on, get him forward. Let's get a goal. It's what they need.
Oyanuga to take the throw for Dover. Will be pleased with their half so far. First clean sheet of the entire season last week against Bath City. They started the season with a draw at home to Torquay and a victory at Slough, so 4 points from 6. But who would have thought back in match day number 2 they wouldn't have won a league game since until now. Incredible bad form, but they weren't actually bottom. Having them all to live were doing worse than that, but having them all to live will beat them 4-3 the other week. Hawks are 0-0 at Truro at the moment. They've actually won all 3 league games under their interim managers after getting rid of Steve King. Flicked forward by Dunn to the left-hand side. Zidane Sutherland's trying to get the better of Weymouth. At the moment, he's taken a long-range shot, which is over the top. But it looks like he was caught on the edge of the box by Teddy Howe, so I think it's going to be brought back for a free kick. Oh, it's actually gone, must have deflected out. It's gone out for a corner on the far side to Dover. That's their first corner. And George Wilkinson goes to take it. First time this afternoon that there's a set piece of any note for Dover. What can they do from this one? Is got everybody forward. Wilkinson delivers it in. The downward header is cleared away, but not too far. A shot is blocked. Living dangerously. Oyanuga, what can he do? Out from the right-hand side. Floats it towards Benfield. I don't know if that was a shot or a pass, but easily gathered by Weymouth's goalkeeper. Still 0-0 on a nice overarm throw to Brandon Goodship out on the left-hand side of midfield. Plays a ball down the left wing. Parson knocks it down, or Rollinson. Unfortunately, they've given possession away. Thompson wins a header. Wilkinson pumps it forwards towards Nickage, and it was too long for him and through to Benfield in goal. for Weymouth FC. In Southern League Division 1 South, Wimborne Town got knocked off the top last night. There was a Friday night game. They would have got knocked off the top whatever the score, because Cribbs and Frome Town, second and third, were playing. Cribbs won 1-0. They're top at the moment. Wimborne will go back on top if they win this afternoon, and they are 1-0 up. Oakley Hanger scoring the goal for Wimborne against Bishop's Cleeve. So Tim Seal's team going back on top of the table. Offside flag up against Dover as they race forward. Striker Zidane Sutherland was offside. And then let's have a look at some of the Dorset fixtures in the Wessex Football League. This year Portland United and Sherborne Town are chasing the playoffs, and Shaftesbury are top of the league itself. So if we get any scores, we'll let you know. Portland are 2-0 up at home to Christchurch. Kyle Critchell's Portland 2-0 up. And Shaftesbury are at Sherborne in a Dorset derby. So if we get any score there, we will of course let you know. 2-0 at the moment. Sherborne Town are 2 up on Shaftesbury, so could be a surprise result against the leaders. Hambling crosses the ball for Weymouth, takes the deflection, and Dover can get it away, but only as far as the Terrors. Picking it up is Joe Cook. To his right is Rowan, who's overhit the pass. As if for Rutherford to try and chase. Can it? Rutherford tries his best, but it's gone out of play for the goal kick to Dover. The reason I'm talking so much about games elsewhere, I mean, I know that's part of the remit, but it's because not too much has happened on the pitch. Half an hour gone in Hutchinson. Only a handful of you can count on one hand the chances there have been.
Yeah, it's been really poor, hasn't it? It'd be maybe if Bobby Wilkinson thinks just mixing up a little bit, change the formation, maybe change Goodship and Rollinson from one wing to the other, and just see if that has a little bit of an effect. But it needs something, it needs a little spark, and there's just nothing there at the moment. And as you say, the chances have been few and far between, certainly for Weymouth, apart from the set pieces of Goodship.
Bearwish finds Alfie Rutherford out on the right hand side, plays it in the air, it's for Rollinson. Bearwish is in the middle, the cross is held by the goalkeeper. It wasn't far enough away from him, but a nice move down the right hand side involving 3 of the Weymouth attacking players.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Getting into these areas and creating chances. Just prior, obviously, what we were saying, they haven't created much at all, but it was good to see. Good little effort, cross shot, but keeper comfortably saving it.
Rutherford's in a lot of space out on the right hand side. He's just crossed halfway. He's got support from Howe. Would he use it? He's crossed it into the area. Dover have headed it away and then picked up by the captain, Bearwish. What can he do? On a bit of a run. Blocked again by Dover. Now back to Cook. All the action at the moment in Dover's half, but Rowan now puts it back to his own goalkeeper, Benfield. Benfield's second spell with Weymouth. Played on a lot of the clubs around the south. Long ball up towards Rutherford. Header is won instead by the big number 16, Jacob Mensah. Weymouth have it down the right hand side. Cook can't find a teammate and easily cleared by Bailey Akehurst. They're on an attack now. Thompson does well to put that out into touch because George Nickars was just behind him, but Dover will probably be happier with the first half. I've got a throw out on the left wing, which Bailey Akehurst, former Gillingham player, is going to take. There's a 1-2 with Wilkinson. Weymouth break it up, get it up, but only Rutherford's up there on his own, and Dover soon get it back forward again. Teddy Howe clears the danger, finds Rutherford, who's almost played a 1-2 with himself with a cheeky back heel, but Dover broke up the attack. And here for Wilkinson, for Dover, with an ambitious and successful pass that finds Oyanuga out on the right wing. Hamlin have to be careful here. Oyanuga gets around him, crosses it to the back post, tipped over by Benfield for a corner. I don't know if that was meant to be a shot, but it was on target, and I think it was an attempted cross, but Benfield taken by surprise but reacting well. Corner to Dover.
Yeah, good attack there from Dover. Coming into the game slightly a little bit more. The cross-come shot again, wasn't it? I think he was trying to cross it, but it's made Benfield work, and he's had to push it over.
Corner this time from the right-hand side. Akehurst goes over to take it. Well, 2/3 of the players on the pitch are in the 6-yard box. Weymouth is congested. It's going to be a melee if it goes into that area. Crossed into the back post. Over everybody. What an absolute waste. On the back post, unmarked as well, was the Charlie Naylor, the defender, but didn't find him at all. Weymouth will be happy if all Dover's set pieces are that bad, and it went from a corner all the way out for a goal kick.
Yeah, if you're Jacob Mensah and Scott Hull, and I was watching them run back, centre halves fume in that situation. They run all the way forward to get a good delivery, and they get that dross, and you can see the content in the face when they're running back. They were far from happy.
Hamblin clears a Dover attack. He's just thumped it out of play. No nonsense start. It's going to be a throw over on the far side by the halfway line to be taken by Akehurst. And Weymouth get it away for now. Building down the right hand side. Parsons and Rutherford try to play a 1-2. Dover break it up, gets it forward towards Nikaj, who appeals that he was fouled by Leo Hamblin. Ref not having any of that. And away come Weymouth. Brandon Goodship on the halfway line. Got to go back into his own half. He's got to be careful here, show some skills. 2 Dover players were around him, and actually he's done well there. He gets a ripple of applause. And now Teddy Howe down the right wing. Still down the right wing, shrugs off one defender. He's got options here, crosses it into the area. Goodship scored! Terrific cross and a brilliant volleyed finish by Brandon Goodship at the far post into the bottom left-hand corner. Weymouth lead. Weymouth 1, Dover Athletic 0.
Yeah, Goodship, he started the move with a lovely sweeping ball from left to right. Teddy Howe, as I said, getting up down that right-hand side, pushing on, gets to the byline, crosses the ball in, and who's coming into the back post but Brandon Goodship. He's been the one shining light of this half, and superb finish. Still had a lot to do on the volley. He side-footed the volley into the back of the net. Superb from Brandon Goodship.
And just what the doctor ordered. A bit of a scrappy game, and finally a bit of quality. The cross was superbly weighted. There were 2 players ahead of the ball. I think he picked out Goodship. He was the 3rd player, and the technique there and the calmness and coolness just to get that volley right under pressure. Just simple execution. It almost seems like maybe he's coming back to how he was, but that's a nice finish for Brandon.
Absolutely. I think there was good communication as well, because he was coming in at the back post, and I think Rutherford was going to take it off his feet, so he's obviously screamed at him. And the superb finish, real good technique.
That's his 4th of the season. Weymouth instantly on the attack again. Rutherford crosses it in from the left-hand side, headed away just before it can reach Rollinson. But they've gifted it straight back to Bearwish. Rollinson now into the area. Teddy Howe, edge of the box. Dover put a boot in and get it away. They'll be disappointed because they'll probably feel they've had the measure of Weymouth, but they are a goal behind here. Team bottom of the table under new management. Free kick to Dover. Well, free kick taken from not the right place of the foul. Don't even know if the ball was stationary, but here comes Nikaj from Dover, dribbling it, tripping himself. Well, I thought he'd lost the ball trying to be tricky and then threw himself to the ground, but the referee decides otherwise. Mr. Hughes gives a free kick to Dover in a dangerous position.
Yeah, I think you're right, Cliff. I think he tripped over his own feet there. He lost the ball. He's been lucky to get a free kick in quite a dangerous position. I was just about to say it's important now for Weymouth to keep the tempo going, try and nick another one before half time, and let's put this game to bed. A long way to go, I know. But, that should be the remit from Bobby Wilkinson. Keep the tempo going. Let's push on for that second goal. We're at home. Be positive and get that second goal.
Will Bailey Akehurst have a shot with a 3-man wall, or is he going to aim this free kick towards half a dozen white-shirted players away on the other side? Akehurst with a free kick. He does take a shot, and it's a waste of a free kick. It floated over, didn't dip at all, and it's easy for Gerard Benfield to watch that go behind. Second set piece they've had, second set piece they've wasted. Still 1-0 to Weymouth. And we'll take that all day long.
Yeah, really poor attempt there from the Dover lad. It's what Weymouth would have liked, just to see it sail over the bar. Time to regroup and go again. Say Teddy Howe getting down that line, said it earlier on, him, get Hamlin down the other wing, energy, push on, get quality crosses in. That's where they'll get the joy today, Weymouth.
Well, so far so good. If we look at a live table, I'm sure that's going to have a much better look about it for Weymouth and their prospects. Let's take a look at the National League South. Any other scores since we were last checking? Hampton now lead Western 2-1. Other than that, Chippenham have taken the lead at Maidstone 1-0, and Chelmsford still lead Torquay 1-0. Weymouth leading Dover 1-0. Our commentary game. Let's have a look at the As Live table. I've got a feeling it's going to show Weymouth have moved up a little bit. Weymouth upper place, 3 points clear of the relegation zone as things stand. And Gosport Borough have taken the lead at Walton and Hersham today, although Winchester City are 1-0 down at home to Hayes and Yeading. Those scores coming from the Southern League Premier Division. Well, at least they will have a cushion at half-time. If they do go into the lead, it will make Bobby Wilkinson's team talk a lot easier. Thumped and cleared out of defence from Dover. Weymouth nodding it forward. Cook heading it out of play after it was cleared at the back by Charlie Naylor. What do you make of the club's loan policy of late? We've got 3 players on loan today, but all coming from east of Weymouth. Traditionally, I know Bournemouth's east of Weymouth as well, but traditionally they were getting players on loan from Football League clubs either west of Weymouth or AFC Bournemouth. But at the moment they've got 3 players on loan from conference clubs.
Yeah, and I think it's where Bobby Wilkinson's connections are really, and his contacts, if you like, all over that side of the country really. So that's where he's sort of been over that side as well. But it is a shame there's not more in and around here that we can get in. As I say, Weymouth is out on a limb where it is, and it is hard to get players in. It really is. And if you are to get good, decent quality players in, they come at a cost, and Weymouth probably can't afford that at the moment. But yeah, the loan players, they still have to pay some of their wages, I believe, and it's not permanent, is it? I mean, it's like Rutherford, he's here for a month at the moment. Is that going to be enough, or can we extend it? Haven't seen much of him today, but I'm sure he'll be a good acquisition. But it is tough because of where the location of Weymouth is, and always has been an issue. But Bobby Wilkinson's obviously using his contacts from where he is sort of based, really, in and around that side of the country.
Yep, Alfie Rutherford has had injuries and well-documented heart problems. He recently went on loan to Bognor Regis, his former club, and scored within minutes, I think, of his return to Nywood Lane. If I were a betting man, I think before the game I would have fancied him to score a goal today, but at the moment, in fairness to Dover's defending, they've kept him very quiet at the moment. But Rutherford, I think he might have scored a last-minute winner against Dover in his Havant and Waterlooville days. I think they won 4-3 at Dover, with Rutherford getting a goal in added time. But, a bit of symmetry, but also a difference between Weymouth and Dover. They both came down together from the National League, and then they both stayed up on the last day of last season. But the difference was, I remember in the National League, Weymouth fulfilled their fixtures at great financial cost to themselves when no fans were allowed in, and Dover just said, no thanks, we're not playing, and upset a few people by doing that.
Yeah, and I think it backfired, didn't it? And fair play for Weymouth for going on. And they would have survived under, was it Brian Stock, I think?
Rutherford finds Parsons. Touches it to Bearwish. He's left it. Clever dummy. This is a chance maybe for a shot. Rollinson took an extra touch. Another shot comes in and it curls and dips just over the top from Alfie Rutherford. Nice move. Nearly a second goal. Still, though, only 1-0 to Weymouth.
Yeah, it came from nothing, really. And then in the end, Rutherford's had a nice effort on this left-hand side, whipping it with his right foot, but always going over the bar. But positive from Weymouth. Good to see them get another one before the break.
Rutherford there with his first attempt on goal, I think, for Weymouth, but this was not troubling the goalkeeper. Oh, a poor goal kick forward, and Bearwish tries to get it back forward. Rollinson jumps for the header. Down the right-hand side comes Teddy Howe. The clearance hits a Weymouth player and goes back to Jacob Mensah, and then I think a player took a blow to the head from the clearance, so the back of the head maybe, for Alfie Rutherford, so the ref's going to stop play for a moment just to assess how Alfie Rutherford is. And Rutherford and Mensah, well, I don't say embrace, but they give a tap to each other, acknowledging that was completely accidental. And it's going to be a bounce ball that Mensah's going to pump forward for Dover Athletic. Howe brings down the ball, controls it, but his clearance is only as far as James Dunn. Nikaj tries to find Dunn again. Bearwish back defending, gets it down the right-hand side. Weymouth attacking. Rollinson tried to dispossess Scott Holding, and the crowd think it was a Weymouth throw, but the officials have given it as a Dover Athletic throw on the far side. Getting into the final minute of the half, we'll see if we can get the board to tell us how many added minutes we can expect to see. Weymouth get it back to their goalkeeper. Thompson gets it back to Benfield, who brings the ball out of his area, plays a long ball forward. Rutherford chests it down. Parson sweeps it out to Goodship. This is good play all around from Weymouth. Goodship waited and waited, both uses of the word. The ball out to the right-hand side where Teddy Howe has got it and slowed things up a little bit. Hasn't really got the support at the moment. Weymouth might just eat up the seconds, given that they're 1-0 up. Teddy Howe does find a teammate in the end, and Bearwish gets it out to the right-hand side. Now they play it back to Thompson. That's the 45 minutes. How many added will we get? Just one. Hamlin finds Rollinson. Weymouth keeping possession nicely, but then intercepted, but only got it so far away, and Bearwish picks up the ball from Naylor's clearance. Bearwish pondering his options out on the right wing, slows it down, finds Rowan, finds Bearwish again, edge of the area, dribbling it. Will he get a chance to shoot? Gets it back to Goodship, plays it out to Rutherford. Chance for Rutherford, saved by the keeper. Powerful shot hitting the legs of the goalkeeper. Alfie Rutherford nearly got a debut goal there. Great stuff from Weymouth the last few minutes. Dover finally clear the ball out of play for a Weymouth throw, and we thought there was such a well-worked move. It looked like it was perfect passing to set Rutherford up for the debut goal. The keeper had other ideas.
Absolutely, again, Goodship involved, laying it off to Rutherford, does well, looks to shoot on his right, checks inside onto his left and smashes it straight at the keeper. It's a good save, but straight at him, and it's a shame that would have been lovely to go in 2-0 at half-time.
The half-time whistle sounds at the Bob Lucas Stadium, and warm applause greets the whistle and the performance of Weymouth FC. Alfie Rutherford's going off shaking his head. He can't believe that his shot was saved, but good goalkeeping from David Isaiah, who's on loan from Bromley. Kept a clean sheet in his first game, beaten once today. The only goal so far scored on 36 minutes by Brandon Goodship, his fourth of the season, with a well-taken volley after a great move down the right-hand side from Teddy Howe. Weymouth was slow to start, not that impressive early on. They've got a lot better as it's gone on. They've got some good understanding with some of the passes. Goodship took his goal well. I think Weymouth fans will be happy at half-time. Without that goal, it might be not so happy at all. But what have you made of the first half, Ian Hutchinson?
Yes, not been a great spectacle, Cliff, to be honest. Very, very scrappy. But like you say, because Weymouth are winning, the fans don't mind. As long as they're winning, they won't mind at all. But the performance itself hasn't been great. Yeah, they've rallied a little bit at the end. Could have had a second, maybe a third. But at the end of the day, Weymouth are in 1-0 at half-time, and it's all about winning football matches. If it stays like this and Weymouth win 1-0, they'll take it all day long. But they do lack that quality, we know that. But the shining light for me this half has been Goodship, really coming into his own. Same in the recent months, and he's been a lot better, and it's amazing what a bit of confidence does for you. So he's been the shining light of the first half for me.
Parsons and Rutherford have shown some good touches. Parsons hasn't had a chance. Rutherford's had a couple now. Obviously, they're both on loan. Parsons scored on his debut last week. Rutherford came close to scoring today. It would be great for their confidence if one of them can get on the target. The way they finished that half, I'm a lot more confident for the second half here.
Absolutely, Rutherford certainly put himself about. He's worked very hard, same as Parsons, and a little bit of quality at the end from him with that effort. You know, he's took it on his right, gone to shoot, dragged it inside, smashed it at the keeper. It's very unfortunate, but yeah, you can just tell he's got a little bit about him, and I'm sure as the half goes on, he'll get more chances and hopefully get an elusive first goal for the club. Same with Parsons, he's looking quite sharp up there. Haven't had a lot of service. As I said, it's getting the full-backs pushed on, getting in the ascendancy, and Teddy Howe did that in the last quarter of that half. Hamlin not so much so I'd be saying to him at half-time, get yourself forward, push on. You know, we're at home, we've got to be positive, we've got to look for the win, and that's what I'd be looking to do.
Well, we're getting closer to handing back. Portsmouth and Southampton are both 1-0 up in first half added time. Bournemouth are 0-0 at Nottingham Forest. Defensively from Weymouth, Dover haven't really created that much. Gerard Benfield's not really been tested defensively. They've stood up to what's been thrown at them.
Absolutely, Dover have been poor, to be quite honest with you, and if Weymouth aren't winning this game, there's something wrong, and let's hope they are. But Dover, they've not really shown anything. Had a couple of chances, one flashed across the goal, but other than that, they've been poor, and Weymouth have to win games against opposition like this if they're going to have any chance of getting up that league.
Eastleigh are 1-0 up at half-time at home to Dorking in the National League in their promotion push. Ludwig Francialetti with the only goal. Havant and Waterlooville in National League South find themselves 1-0 down at Truro City. So a run of 3 consecutive league victories in danger of coming to an end for the Hawks on their long trip west today. Truro's goal moves them above Weymouth again in the table, but though Weymouth would stay 20th, as everything stands, they would improve the gap between themselves and the bottom 4 from greatly, because I think they would be 4 points clear instead of the 1 point they started the day clear of the drop zone. So let's have a look at National League South half-time live scores until we are given a signal to hand back to Jordan in the studio. Chelmsford lead Torquay 1-0, Yeovil 1-0 up at Eastbourne, Hampton 2-1 up at home to Weston, Hemel 1 up against Worthing, Chippenham 1 up on the road at Maidstone, Taunton lead Tunbridge 1-0, and Truro 1 up against Havant, Weymouth 1 up against Dover Athletic. In the in the Southern League, Basingstoke haven't won in 8. They are 2-1 down at home to Didcot. Dorchester could drop in the relegation zone today. They are 0-0 away to the leaders Chesham, so that's actually an excellent first half performance. Totton are goalless at Hanwell Town. The leaders Salisbury goalless at Hungerford. Poole and Harrow's 0-0. Sholing are losing 1-0 at home to Merthyr Town. Gosport are 3-0 up at Walton and Hersham. Fantastic stuff. Daniel Wooden has got a hat-trick for Gosport Borough. Ian Hutchinson and myself, Cliff Pledge, will be back for the second half from the Bob Lucas Stadium for Weymouth against Dover Athletic. Brandon Goodship's got the only goal so far. Half-time score, Weymouth 1, Dover Athletic 0.
Sports.
Your headlines then at half-time on Solent Sport. In the Premier League, it's goalless at the City Ground between Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth, but a big second half to come for the Cherries and a huge opportunity with Forest down to 10 men.
Bournemouth have got it back again here with Solanke through the centre circle. Tavernier to his left. Solanke is denied by Bolly. Got that tackle right, and then Smith is beaten to it by Bolly, but the referee doesn't like it, and Bolly's already been booked, and he's got a second yellow, and Forest are down to 10 men inside the first quarter of this game as Willie Bolly lunged in on Adam Smith, and he's gone.
Bournemouth also down a blow with Lewis Cook going off injured around the half-hour mark, so Alex Scott on the field to replace him. Second half commentary with John Williams and Chris Temple to come at Solent Sport. To have your say on social media, Cherries fans, 81333 on the text, 08000 321 333 on WhatsApp. Make Solent the first word. Where do you find a goal away at Nottingham Forest in that second half? And Saints fans, you can have your say on what is a winning performance so far away at QPR.
Ryan Manning against his former club sends it in, flicked onto the back post. There's a free man there and a goal for Saints, and they lead at Loftus Road, and it's Taylor Harwood-Bellis, his second Southampton goal, benefiting from the perfect flick on at the near post, getting in at the back post, volleying past Begovic. It is Queen's Park Rangers 0, Southampton 1.
Saints heading for 15 games unbeaten in the Championship. Adam Blackmore, Joe Tesson will guide you through the next 45 minutes. And Pompey fans, what have you made of things here at Fratton Park so far? Fleetwood really difficult to break down, but Pompey have probed and probed. Kamara hit the post, and then this happened.
Give it straight to Kamara, his shot blocked. Pompey claiming hand, referee saying it was hand, and it's a penalty to Portsmouth. Colby Bishop, it'll be virtually the last kick of the first half, and he scores! Sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. 11 for the season, no mistake from the spot. And Pompey, for the second week running, have grabbed a goal to take the lead in first half stoppage time. Portsmouth 1, Fleetwood 0.
Kamara's looked very good down the right-hand side. What have you made of it, Portsmouth fans? At Solent Sport, please, on Twitter. 08000 321 333 on WhatsApp. Make Solent the first word. 81333 on the text. Again, they need to start with the word Solent. Let's find out what's been happening in the National League. I can tell you that Eastleigh find themselves a goal up at half-time at home to Dorking Wanderers. Goal scorer for the Spitfires, Ludwig Francelet, to put them in front just before the break. What about National League South? Having in Waterlooville a goal down away at Truro City. Their 3-game winning run on course to come to an end. Still time to turn it around. And we're with Weymouth at the Bob Lucas Stadium. Here's what's happened in the first half against Dover.
Teddy Howe down the right wing. Still down the right wing, shrugs off one defender. He's got options here, crosses it into the area. Good chip, scored! Terrific cross and a brilliant volleyed finish by Brandon Goodship at the far post into the bottom left-hand corner. Weymouth lead. Weymouth 1, Dover Athletic 0.
Former Cherries youngster Brandon Goodship with the goal for the Terrors. That would be a big 3 points for them. Just outside the relegation zone at the moment, struggling to find wins. Up against bottom of the table Dover, Cliff Pledge and Ian Hutchinson will guide you through the second half on BBC Sounds and your smart speaker if you ask it to play BBC Radio Solent. Coming up next, half-time scores from elsewhere across the country. We'll get some reaction to the early kick-off in the Premier League as well, while West Ham beat Manchester United. You're listening to the home of live sport across the south.
BBC Radio Solent. Sport.
Saturday night is the time to showcase your talent on the BBC.
Thank you so much.
From 6, BBC Upload brings you the best in new comedy, poetry and spoken word.
Upload is a great way to reach a new audience with my spoken word poetry.
From 8, BBC Introducing.
I want to thank you for the support, playing my tracks on the radio.
Supporting and championing new music made right here.
Thank you so much. Honestly, that means so much to all of us.
BBC Upload and BBC Introducing.
Just a few clicks and then the next thing you're getting played on air.
Saturday night from 6 or anytime on BBC Sounds.
BBC Radio Solent. Jordan Clark.
BBC Radio Solent Sport.
Just coming up to 4 o'clock on Saturday, the 23rd of December. Great to have you there with us. We'll do the half-time scores from the Premier League, Football League in a second. Let me just remind you, we are with you through until 6 o'clock this evening, so don't go anywhere at the full-time whistle. Got a full hour to pick apart everything that's happened for your team this afternoon, and it's your chance to get involved and have your say as well. Guy Whittingham, Joe Tesson, John Williams, they'll stick around. We'll hear some post-match reaction from the managers. And if you are heading out and about on the move, move. You can get that final hour on BBC Sounds. Just download the app to your smartphones, your tablets. Take us with you. Or maybe you're out at the moment in the car and you'll be heading home by then. You can get it on your smart speaker if you ask it to play BBC Radio Solent. Non-league scorelines then for our local sides. We've done the National League. Let's move into the Southern League Premier Division. Dorchester Town 0-0 away at Chesham. Same scoreline for AFC Totton at Hamwell Town today. No goals in the game between Poole Town and Harrow Borough either. Sholing find themselves a goal down at home to Merthyr Town. Ricardo Rees has put the visitors in front. Goalless between Walton and Hersham and Gosport Borough, and Winchester City are losing 1-0 at home to Hayes and Yedding. Ronan Silva has given the away side the lead in that one, so no goals at all to speak about for our Southern League Premier Division sides. What about in Division 1? We have got a goal to tell you about in the game involving Wimborne Town and Bishop's Cleeve. Wimborne are 1-0 up. Sam Griffin with the goal for the Magpies in that one. Bashley are 0-0 away at Yate Town. We'll keep you updated on those games and the full-time scores later on this evening. Let's move into the Premier League then. We'll start with the early kick-off. West Ham 2, Manchester United 0. There's some reaction from that game. We can hear from both managers now. First the victorious manager David Moyes, and then of course Eric Ten Hag, the United boss, after that.
I'd said to the players at half-time, I thought we never looked to play behind them, we never threatened them enough, we had some play, good bits of play in front of them, but we didn't go anywhere really. Second half we got much better, and we needed somebody to come up with a special pass, or a risky pass if you want to call it that, but Paqueta came up with a brilliant pass for Jared, and thankfully he ended up bundling it in the net.
He's a perfect locksmith, isn't he, to unlock defences? Yeah, he's that fearless quality to take chances.
He is, and he's fearless in these passes he wants to play. We talk about people like Paul Scholes over the days, and Glenn Hoddle. I'm not putting him in that level of those players with his passing, but I'm saying he's willing to take the passes on and try them and make things happen.
You encourage the team. Once I think West Ham wasn't running behind us for a long period in the game, and then actually they get the goal. And then of course you encourage the team, and they were from that moment on very aggressive, defending the box, standing deep, and then it's difficult to create a chance. So we should have done that better, but also don't come to the point, the meaning of the first goal.
That's 13 games for you now away from home against top 9 opposition from last season without a win. How worrying is that for you? Is it a worrying trend, or is it just one of those things in football?
In this moment, we are not top, but we have seen last week against the top of this league how we were head to head, and even we could have won that game. Or same issue, we didn't score where we had the best opportunities of the game. There we defended for 90 minutes very good and solid. That has to be always, I think, our standard. Like that, what we did there, and you have to bring that every game on the pitch.
There you go, the two managers after West Ham beat Manchester United 2-0 in the early kick-off in the Premier League. Bowen and Kudus with the goals, Lucas Paquetá with both assists for David Moyes' side. In the 3 o'clock kick-offs at half-time, Fulham 0, Burnley 0. Luton 1-0 up on Newcastle United. Andros Townsend with his first goal for the club, Barkley with the assist. And after scoring, Andros Townsend going to grab a shirt, a Tom Lockyer shirt, which he held up in the air to show his support to his teammate, of course, who suffered a cardiac arrest at the Vitality Stadium last season. Tottenham 2, Everton 0, and the players are back out up at Loftus Road. So on 96.1 FM, we can take you back to the Championship game where Southampton are 1-0 up away at QPR. And your commentary team on 96.1 FM, Joe Tessam alongside Adam Blackmore. Right, to come at 5:30 in the Premier League, Liverpool against Arsenal. Let's drop into the Championship at half-time. Blackburn 1, Watford 0, Leicester 0, Rotherham 0, Middlesbrough 1, West Brom 0, Norwich 0, Huddersfield 0, Plymouth 1, Birmingham 2, QPR 0, Saints 1, you know about already. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Cardiff 0. Stoke 0, Millwall 0, and Sunderland 0, Coventry 1. The early game finished Leeds 4, Ipswich 0. Interleague 1, Barnsley 1, Stevenage 1. Blackpool 1, Bristol Rovers 1, Bolton 3, Leyton Orient 0, Carlisle 0, Cheltenham 1, Charlton 1, Burton 0, Northampton 0, Oxford United 0, Pompey are 1-0 up here at Fratton Park against Fleetwood, Reading 1, Wigan 0, Shrewsbury 0, Peterborough 0, and Wickham 0, Port Vale 0. Players back out at the Bob Lucas Stadium. Weymouth 1-0 up against Dover Athletic in that big game at the bottom of the National League South table. The game is live on BBC Sounds and your smart speaker if you ask it to play BBC Radio Solent. Your commentary team there, Ian Hutchinson, is alongside Cliff Pledge.
Thank you very much, Jordan. Welcome back to the Bob Lucas Stadium, where almost perfect timing. The ball's on the centre spot. Weymouth going to be in this half attacking from left to right as we look at it. And non-league being non-league, supporters moving around the ground to get behind the goal to will on their heroes. Weymouth 1-0 up against Dover Athletic. Quite a scrappy and close-fought game. The only goal so far, a volley from Brandon Goodship. 35 minutes separating the two sides. Weymouth instantly go on an attack, which Alfie Rutherford tries to chase down and ends up racing and getting a touch on the ball, but not being able to keep that in play. I don't think we've had a substitution, so quickly let's tell you the teams. Gerard Benfield is in goal for Weymouth. Teddy Howe, Joe Cook, Jordan Thompson, Leo Hamlin defending for the Terrors this afternoon. Tom Bearwish in midfield and Joel Rollinson both on the ball now, incidentally, along with Charlie Rowan. Flicked into the area, backheeled into Rollinson's path. Is that a corner or a goal kick? A goal kick is given. I think that's the right decision. Those trio I've just mentioned are also in the middle with Brandon Goodship, and up front Alfie Rutherford and Harry Parsons. Subs are Ezio Torre, Dan Roberts, Keelan O'Connell, Tyreek Clark and Elliot Bolton. Dover Athletic, bottom of the table, under new management, have David Isaiah in goal, John Oyanuga, Bailey Akehurst, Jacob Mensah, Scott Holding, Charlie Naylor, James Dunn, the captain in the middle, George Wilkinston, Nick Dembele, Zidane Sutherland and George Nikaj. Up front, Henry Young is one of their 5 subs. The others are Roman Charles Cook, Luke Baptiste, Archie Hatcher and Iffy Allen. More of the same. Ian Hutchinson is what we'd like to see from Weymouth. Hutch is our regular Terrors summariser, having been a player and manager of the club. I guess we just hope that they can start this half how they finished the first.
Yeah, absolutely. I've just got in my notes there, Cliff, about putting the game to bed as early as possible, really, simply because Dover are a poor side, and to be honest, they've started well in this second half. Weymouth straight at them, which is what I've got in my notes. Say, get at them straight from that kick-off, get that second goal and put this game to bed. We're at home, be positive, get forward, get the full-backs pushing on and get that second goal. And let's get Brandon Goodship on the ball as much as possible, because first half, as I say, he was the shining light of the side and really playing with a lot of confidence at the moment, Brandon.
Throw to Weymouth, up by the corner flag, taken quickly, finding Parsons. This is Bearwish, tries to get it into the middle, and Bearwish just gets there, ties a long-range shot that is wildly off target. He did well to actually win the ball because the challenge was coming in from Dover. Dover have the goal kick. The goalkeeper, David Isaiah, one good save in the first half, but beaten once as well on loan from Bromley in an all-fluorescent purpley kit, who's going to launch the ball forward. Get a sense that the wind has died down a bit. We were mentioning it a lot pre-match, but I can't see the trees swaying that much.
Yeah, it was quite blustery first half, wasn't it? But as you say, it might have died down. That's why I always go with the wind first half.
Weymouth passing nicely in the middle, attacking down the right-hand side. Nice ball forward from Howe for Rollinson to try to chase, but Dover are going to get their first. Bailey Akehurst tussling. Does he win the ball fairly? The officials say yes. The crowd don't seem to think so. Thompson getting the ball from Cook now. Weymouth keep going forward. Thompson, summer signing, still hasn't scored yet, the big defender. Weymouth working it nicely. Good ship touching it off, played out to the left-hand side now. Cross is over-hit, and it's out for a goal kick. Again, another nice passing move this time. I think it was Hamlin's cross was no good to man nor beast, over-hit and a goal kick.
Yeah, disappointing there from Hamlin, saying he's got forward, got in a good position and chance to put a good quality ball in, but he's just shanked it really and it's floated well over the bar. But good that he's getting in that position. So it's about getting balls in the box, crosses for Rutherford and Parsons to get the scraps from.
Any thoughts on the other clubs in West Dorset at the moment? Dorchester Town under Tom Killick just outside the relegation zone. Is that underperforming? And then in the Wessex League, Portland along with Sherborne and Shaftesbury all looking to try and get promotion this year. I know you've had links with Portland.
Yeah, it's good to see, and Carl Critchell's doing really a good job there. They're going down the youth policy, but he has brought in a few experienced heads, which has paid dividends for them, and a smashing little club run by Matt Lucas, ex-Dorchester chairman, and always like going up there to see them play. Haven't had a chance really this year, but Carl's certainly doing a good job. As I say, with Tommy at Dorchester, it's a new era for him at a different club after being at Poole for so long. It's going to take time. He's going to want to put his own stamp on it and get his own players in, and I think he'll be judged on next season more than this season.
Having to stay up, of course, in the meantime, although a point at Chesham would be good. Chesham are second in the table, and if they get a point there, even if other results drop them into the dreaded relegation zone, that still would be an excellent result. It was 0-0 at half-time, and Wimborne going on top of Southern 1. If it all stays like it is, they're 1 up against Bishop's Cleeve. I said Oakley Hanger had scored the goal in the first half. Just checking at half-time, it's Sam Griffin who's got the goal for those Magpies. Oh, Weymouth threatening, but now Dover counteracting and coming forward on the break. This is James Dunn, their vastly experienced captain, touching it out to Oyanuga, who's overlapping, and then what a tackle coming in from Hamlin. I think it was Bearwish actually on halfway, stopping him in his tracks when it looked like he was flying down the wing.
Yeah, great challenge, great determination from Bearwish. That's what the crowd want to see, a good local lad putting in a crunching tackle. Good local servant Bearwish. It's good to see local lad in the side. Don't have enough in there for me, but great play there from Tom Bearwish, and good endeavour and passion, which is what the crowd want to see.
Yeah, throw to the Terrors, or free kick to the Terrors over on the far side. They're going to leave it for Benfield, the goalkeeper, to come a very long way out of his goal to take this set piece. Let's hope he doesn't get it wrong, but he's got players to aim at going forward. Benfield launches the free kick from inside his own half on the left wing in towards the edge of the area. Almost falls kindly for Rutherford, but I think it's Mensah at the back getting it away. It's going to be a throw which Teddy Howe will take on this right-hand side. Just looking at... Oh, he's picked up the ball from Parsons, gets it back, crosses it in with his left foot to the near post, where it is charged down by Dover Athletic, getting up towards Dembele. Dembele and Cook tussle, neither can get on the end of it. The ball is loose. Dover attack through Nikaj, and then back to the goalkeeper, who sliced it a little bit. Bearwish got it back to his keeper. It's been touched out by Teddy Howe for a throw. Looking at the stats there at half-time, I don't think a defender has scored a goal for Weymouth this season. Now, normally that's often a strategy to get defenders up from set pieces, but I don't think any of today's back four or any defender has scored a goal for Weymouth this season, which is a little bit unusual as we get to Christmas time. Dover on the attack, but Nikaj crowded out and going to be cleared here by Teddy Howe. He plays it up and out of play. Yeah, Thompson also is quite a big defender, but no defender has scored a goal for Weymouth so far this season.
Well, that's interesting. Is it the defenders aren't very good going forward for set pieces, or is it the delivery of the set piece? Who knows? But that's an interesting stat, and hopefully they can change that today. Get a corner, and Thompson, Cook, one of the big centre halves, getting on the end of a good delivery.
Actually, I think Cheshire might have scored one. He's not here today. Alfie Rutherford down the right-hand side into the penalty area. Rutherford from an acute angle is denied by a flying save by Azaye. He did have options in the middle. I don't know if he was trying to cross or shoot, but the keeper came out and smothered it, and it's a corner. I think Anthony Cheshire might have scored a goal. He's been sent out on loan to Basingstoke Town, who are losing today at home to the bottom club Didcot. I didn't put him in my stats because I knew he wasn't playing, but only one goal from a defender, not that good. Corner here to Weymouth, which Goodship is going to take from the right-hand side after Rutherford was denied by a save. Comes into the near post, cleared to the edge of the area, only as far as Bearwish, who touches it back to Goodship, floats it to the back post, nodded down. Who's going to get there? Goodship to Rutherford, takes a shot just wide of the target. It's deflected wide. I think it's Parsons' effort after all, and it's behind for another corner. 2 corners in quick succession for Weymouth.
Yeah, just going on from that corner, it was good delivery, and it's Thompson that could have got on the end of that. So just what we were saying about, is it from the delivery or is it the lads getting on it? But there was a chance there for Thompson, a little flicker on the head, and that could have been in the back of the net.
Corner delivered from the left-hand side. Keeper's punched it, but not very far. He's gathered it at the second attempt. Heart in the mouth. Moment stuff for Dover's goalkeeper, who's now calming things down a little and taking his time to release the ball. Let everybody go forward before he punts it up long into the Weymouth half, where Cook has let it go behind him. Thompson's let it go behind him. The forwards gone through, and my goodness me, a golden chance to equalise for Dover is squandered after some kamikaze defending. 2 players allowed the ball to bounce past them. They did not see that George Nikaj was there, and what is a simple chance to equalise is put wide of the post. Weymouth still lead 1-0, but how, Ian Hutchinson?
Big let off for Weymouth there, and it was Thompson this time defending. Another good quality corner from Goodship, and Thompson could have got into the end of another one, and then at the back in his own box he's made a kamikaze mistake, and thankfully for Weymouth.
Corner to Dover, who've got a little bit of incentive out of that one. Yeah, Nikaj missing their second top goal scorer. He's put that wide, and it was a simple chance. He was only the goalkeeper between him and the goal, and that is an almighty let-off for Weymouth, who would have been absolutely furious with the defending there. Anyway, corner to Dover, which Wilkinson is going to take. Wilkinson delivers it to the back post, cleared by Weymouth, who might get a chance to burst out of defence. Rowan tries to sweep it up only as far as Dover, who've given it straight back to Bearwish. Here's a chance for Alfie Rutherford. 3 against 4 here. Rutherford's racing down the right-hand side into the penalty area. He's looking across to pass it. Defender with a spectacular header gets it away from Dover. Back to Bearwish, and then belted out of defence by Dover. End to end and exciting stuff here at the moment. Now Sutherland gets it down the left-hand side to Dembele. Dembele, not too many options, plays it into the penalty area, easy for Thompson to clear. Suddenly it's got a bit basketball, Hutch. It's gone from one end to the other and back again.
Yeah, it's really opened up the game again. Brilliant play from Rutherford. It's really starting to impress me. Really sharp, really lively, getting in behind the Dover defence and again causing havoc, but really getting to like Rutherford. I think he's going to be a great acquisition to the club in this next month.
Dover going forward, seeking an equaliser, one behind. Thompson gets the ball away cleanly from their number 10, who's trying to pull a shirt. He didn't like losing the ball, Nikaj, but his teammates helped him out and won it back in Naylor. Out to the right-hand side, into the penalty area. Thompson's cleared. He's only deflected to Wilkinson on the edge of the area, whose shot deflects wide for a corner, and Weymouth are furious either with the ref's decision or with each other. Anyway, it's Dover who keep attacking and have won another set piece out on the right-hand side. Wilkinson takes them from the left-hand side. Akehurst takes them from the right-hand side. Akehurst is going to take this corner for Dover. Can't see many, if any, Dover fans in here today, Ian.
It's a good point. I didn't think of that. Well, you can't blame them, can you? 23rd of December, 3-4 hour trip to Dorset. It's not going to happen, is it?
Corner to Dover from the right-hand side is a good curling one, headed down by Weymouth, but Dover have put it into the penalty. There's an almighty scramble on the line. It's bundled in. It's an equalising goal. The defender's clearance hit the forward and has gone in, and from nothing they've drawn level. It is an equaliser for Dover Athletic, who've been persistent here. And it is Weymouth 1, Dover Athletic 1. And it is, of course, Jacob Mensah, the former Weymouth player, who somehow got a touch on that one. I don't think he knew much about that, but it's 1-1.
Yeah, well, the next goal was going to be crucial, wasn't it? And if Weymouth got it, I'm sure they'd have put the game to bed. Now it's a different story. Real melee in the box, good delivery, lots of bodies in and around the 6-yard box, and they've scrambled the ball home. Disappointing from a Weymouth point of view, certainly, but now it's about character, how they react to it. They should be beating sides like this if they're going to have any chance of getting up that league. Really do. Got to go and win this game.
Dover started better, Weymouth got better as the first half went on, took the lead, maybe looking the better team in this half, but Dover not giving up, and there a ball just wasn't cleared in the 6-yard box. Not cleared at the first attempt. When it finally was cleared, the clearance went in off of the defender who's up there, Mensah, who spent some time on loan here, or no, I think he was released by Crystal Palace and came here a few years ago when Weymouth were in the National League. Rutherford threw, his offside flag is up, and suddenly you sense things change. Dover seem to have a little bit of belief. Their captain Dunn is encouraging them to come forward. Isaiah, the goalkeeper for Dover, plays the free kick forward. Howe wins the header, and then this is one which Parsons controlled and won a throw in, taken very quickly by Howe. Bit of urgency from Weymouth now. Rollinson trying to get it past the defender, who's let it gone out for a goal kick. Just was a bit of a nothing goal. If someone had scored a screamer or something, but just someone to get a, I don't know if you could call it a lucky deflection, but someone just to block a clearance over the line is galling a little bit.
Yeah, but like you say, that's how they set up Dover on the corners. They put lots of bodies in and around Benfield and just put it in that area, and it's worked for them. And as you say, they're done rallying his troops. Seems a proper leader, and is that what Weymouth are lacking out there? Leaders. You know, Bearwish in the middle of the park, he rallies them, but other than that, there isn't many. And they say, just done there, you just look at his passion in him and in his face, and the screaming at his players to keep going, rallying them, and that's what just Weymouth heads seem to have gone down again. And they need leaders out there. They need characters who are going to take the game by the scruff of the neck.
I did interestingly note at half-time that Lymington Town were 1-0 up against Blackfield and Langley. They have not won a game this season. They were demoted from the Southern League into the Wessex League and are bottom without a victory, but they are 1-0 up at half-time against Hampshire rivals Blackfield and Langley. Parsons for Weymouth into the penalty area, good control, touching it back to Bearwish, who's touched it out to the left-hand side. Good shapes to shoot, saved by the keeper's feet. Weymouth keep going. Bearwish could have had a pop at goal himself, unselfishly found Goodship, who took a couple of touches and saw the keeper save with an outstretched foot.
Yeah, thought Tom Bearwish was going to have a go himself, but he being unselfish there, giving it to Goodship. Probably a good decision, really, because Goodship's got his shot away. It's been a good save from the keeper.
Weymouth, edge of the area, shot is low and is dragged wide of the target. Not the greatest effort in the world from Leo Hamlin, who's back up on his feet, and it's a goal kick to Dover. Weymouth fans finding some voice now to try and cheer on their team. I think Bobby Wilkinson would be very disappointed if they don't get a victory today, particularly after taking the lead and fashioning some chances to go 2 up before conceding that equaliser.
Oh yeah, it'll be massively disappointing if they don't get 3 points out of this game. Because to be fair, as I said, Dover have been poor. Yeah, they have looked a bit sharper this half and look as though they want it more at this moment in time, but Weymouth really have to have 3 points. Otherwise, Bobby will be under yet more pressure.
Foul in the centre circle goes the way of Weymouth for the foul on Parsons, and then it goes the way of Dover Athletic, who take the free kick. Well, they're in no rush to take it. Thing is, being bottom, a point's no good for them either. Being bottom, potentially with Havant and Waterlooville losing, they would move off the bottom if they won today, and it would be their first win in over 20 league games. 1-1 at the moment. Rollinson for Weymouth. scored in the league game at the Crabble. Bearwish plays it forward. Slice clearance is a bad one from Dover. The defender can recover, and Bearwish challenges and wins a throw-in. Yeah, Bobby Wilkinson, he's talking about pressure on him as Rowan tries to find Goodship. He's a likeable chap. I don't think there's any pressure from the Echo or for definitely not from us, but some of the supporters aren't all especially happy as Dover now look another opportunity. Zidane's shot is blocked. Zidane Sutherland, who wears Zidane rather than his surname on the back of his shirt. And when I said that the other week at Haverton Waterloo, Sean Gale said, well, wouldn't you rather have Zidane than Sutherland on your shirt? But as you say, there's mixed. People are very pro the manager and some people that have mixed ideas. Cross comes in the air from Dembele. Benfield gathers. It's not sort of pressure that we've had. I can remember people here calling for Brian Stock out and stuff like that. It's not that sort of pressure, but he has got critics in.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've all of a sudden really turned on him. It's been these last few months, but supporters pay their money. They're entitled to have the say, and social media these days is just awful with some of the comments, and he's had a real bit of horrible stick. I think it was Farnborough, wasn't it, where his family came under a lot of stick as well. It's just totally unacceptable. But I was a big advocate of Brian Stock as well. I don't think he should have got the sack, but you've got to be careful what you wish for. It hasn't been good enough at the moment, so he's rightly under pressure. I can see that. The performances haven't been good, the results haven't been good at times, so you're going to be under pressure. But Paul Maitland, the chairman, seems to be very close to him, and he gave him a contract, which is fair enough. I wouldn't be getting rid of him. I don't think it's going to make any difference who they're going to get in for what money. They'd have to pay Bobby off, but a couple of wins and it's a different story, isn't it? And get a win today, which hopefully they will, and then a draw and a win in the next two against Weston-super-Mare, double header, and it's a different story. Fine margins.
Dover sweep a free kick into the penalty area. Weymouth get it away. Rollinson is charged down. Zidane playing it towards Dunn, edge of the area, nice cross into the middle, and Thompson had to do well to get there just in front of Dembele. Tide has perhaps turned here a little bit as Dover go forward with increased purpose after that scrambled equaliser from Mentz. There's also, Weymouth being a big non-league club, there's maybe a bit more, the fans here put a bit more pressure on the manager than fans of other non-league clubs in the south.
Oh, absolutely. It's always been thought of as a sleeping giant, but I think fans have got to realise where the club are at. I always said when Mark Moseley got promoted, it's just imperative that they stay in the National League. But it was just impossible because of finances, because of where the location of Weymouth is as well, and they just couldn't afford to do it. It didn't work, and eventually they went down. But fans have got to be a bit careful what they wish for and where they're at and what they expect of the club. But this is the club's level at the moment, and if they can get mid-table at the end of the season, that is a positive season for them, and they build from there. Still a long way to go, but they've got to start picking up points soon and got to get a bit more quality in the side, certainly in that centre of the park.
Voice of Ian Hutchinson, former Weymouth player and manager. Weymouth on the attack here, but Parsons couldn't find his intended target, and it was easily cut out by Dover, who since that goal may be shading things here. Rollinson from Weymouth, and then out of play by one of his teammates has hit that one badly, so it's a throw to Dover. Akehurst to take the throw. Dover Athletic 1-1 at Weymouth. Weymouth having beaten them 3 times in the space of 6 months. Today, this game very much in the balance. Free kick, though, to Weymouth. We're about to see a change. 11 for 14. It is Ezio Torre who's coming on for Joel Rollison. Torre has scored 4 goals this season against Dover. He's the leading goal scorer of 8. Half of those goals have came against Dover. 2 on his debut in the league, 2 in the FA Trophy. He's gone a bit quiet after that instant impact that he had, but he's the player who's come on for Rollinson, who maybe was a bit quieter than some of the other games I've seen Rollinson play.
Yeah, he didn't get involved much at all, did he? So it's interesting the change. He tore in whether they'll go 3 up front now and really go for it. They have to. They can't sit back. They couldn't even sit back on the 1-0 lead for me. They've got to go on, push on and win this game, and looks as though they're doing that. We're putting Tora on, who I believe has scored 50% of his goals for Weymouth against Dover. There's a stat for you.
Now, Wilkinson down the right-hand side for Dover. Cuts it into the penalty area, it bounces, and then Weymouth thump it out of defence. If it had bounced towards one... Dover defender on the centre circle won the header. If he got it wrong, Rutherford would have raced through onto the bounce, but it was actually good defending. Wilkinson and Dembele for Dover Athletic. A point does neither team any favours. Both teams desperate for 3 points today. Dover on the attack. Keep going forward. Touched to the left-hand side. Shot comes across the face of goal and is turned in the back post, and the offside flag is up because Nick Dembele there threatened to get on the end of the cross, and that would have been a disaster for Weymouth. Akehurst cross, Dembele's finish, the flag was up.
Yeah, lucky escape there from where it looked very, very much in an offside position, Dembele, but coming down this left-hand side, Parsons just come out to the right a little bit. And didn't track his man back there, and he lucky escape for Weymouth.
20 minutes to play plus stoppages. Weymouth 1, Dover Athletic 1 on BBC Radio Solent. Brandon Goodship volleyed Weymouth into a half-time lead. Jacob Mensah against his former club scrambling home, an equalising goal at the start of the second half. And with both teams in a perilous position in the league table, both teams, I'm sure, are going to push for a winning goal. Headed out of danger from Teddy Howe as Dover launched an attack. First touch for Ezio Torre, who then plays a nice ball towards Goodship, but he couldn't control it. It was hit extremely hard, so I don't think he would have been expected to control it, but in the end it's gone through to Dover's goalkeeper. AFC Bournemouth are 2-1 up at Nottingham Forest. They have come from behind. Dominic Solanke has 2 of those goals, both of those goals. Southampton still leading at Queen's Park Rangers 1-0. Portsmouth are 1-1 with Fleetwood. Did take the lead through Colby Bishop's penalty, but the visitors have equalised at Fratton Park. In the National League, Eastleigh are now 2-0 up against Dorking. The leading goal scorer in the league, Paul McCallum, has scored a second goal after Franchlet gave the Spitfires the lead earlier at the Silver Lake Stadium. Boxing games coming up thick and fast include Eastleigh at Dagenham and Redbridge, Weymouth away at Weston-super-Mare, Havant and Waterlooville at home to Farnborough, and then some derbies in the Southern League as well. Big game on the island between Newport and East Cowes. Dover here with Wilkinson pushing forward, looking for another goal. They're attacking with purpose. They're in the Weymouth penalty area. Cut back. Bearwish blocks up the attack. Tony Lee has scored from the penalty spot as Paul Town are 1-0 up this afternoon in the Southern League. They haven't played at home since October the 21st because of a whole raft of postponements due to bad weather. They've finally got a game on, and they are in front in the Southern League. And we will have some derby games in that league over the festive period. If anything, Hutch, at the moment Dover are doing more attacking than Weymouth. Weymouth are almost trying to catch Dover on the break, and Dover are just in general having more pressure and assertiveness at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely, Cliff. As you said, they're more likely to score a goal at the moment, Dover. They've certainly got the fingers out, and as I said, done in the middle of the park, orchestrating things. Really passionate lad in there, but yeah, certainly it's Dover looking the better side at the moment.
Now they go long towards Torre. Mensah at the back. Rowan gets it back for Weymouth up towards Ezio Torre. controls it, back to goal. Nice ball, couldn't quite find a teammate though. Howe trying to get it forward, accidentally puts it out of play. Throw to Dover. 16 minutes on the clock in Vanarama National League South. Other scores in the division as things stand: Averley 0, Slough 1, Bath City 3, Welling 0, Chelmsford 1, Torquay 0, Dartford 0, St Albans 2, Eastbourne 0, Yeovil 1, Farnborough 0, Braintree 0, Hampton 2, Weston 1, Hemel 2, Worthing 0, Maidstone 0, Chippenham 1, Taunton 1, Tunbridge 0, Truro 1, Havant and Waterlooville 0, and of course here Weymouth 1, Dover 1. Only one game goalless now in the entire league. Teddy Howe is down. Teddy Howe is hurt. The physio is on. Dover are taking the opportunity to have a drinks break here. As I was reading out those scores, I didn't catch Howe's injury. Did you catch any of it?
No, I didn't quite see. The player was in play. I think he already had gone down, but it seems all right. The physio's on. He did look in some considerable pain, but he's sort of sat up now, and I think he'll be fine. Chance for Dover and Weymouth to regroup. A few little words of wisdom from Bobby Wilkinson, hopefully on the sidelines there. But you know, I think, as you say, both teams a point really no good. Certainly for Weymouth. I mean, they've got to be beating teams like this at home, and they've got to push on and get this winning goal. Really do, you know. And if it's so be, if they push on and Dover go down, but they can't sit back. Got to push on and get balls in the box. Get Hamlin to say wide. Get Howe pushing on wide and get balls in the box. Hasn't been good enough again this half.
Charlie Rowan is coming off for Weymouth. Elliot Bolton is coming on, and again, that's midfielder for a midfielder. What have you made of that change and how Charlie Rowan's done this afternoon?
Haven't really seen a lot of him. Been in the centre of the park. Can play centre half as well. So no, he's been disappointed. He'll have been disappointed with his game today. As I say, I think that's the area they are lacking now. Be good to have someone like Dunn, the Dover lad, in the middle of the park at the moment.
1-1 here on BBC Radio Solent. Weymouth go forward towards Torre. Defender is out, the goalkeeper's out, he's out of his box, he's put a clearance high rather than long. Weymouth can't keep the pressure on though. Sutherland over his shoulder gets Dover going at the other end. And Zidane Sutherland now. Nikaj attacking down the right hand side. Nikaj bundled off the ball fairly. Good defending from Leo Hamlin. And now it's Weymouth trying to go forward. They've got three forwards up there. One of them is Rutherford. Rutherford gets the ball, controls it in the penalty area. He's got a defender in front of him. He shoots and it's saved at the near post by the goalkeeper. A good shot at the back post was Torre, but the shot went to the near post, and again it's another save by David Azaya. And if Dover aren't defeated today, they'll be indebted to the goalkeeper who's kept Rutherford out amongst others.
Yeah, saved some good efforts from Weymouth with his feet on most occasions. That was a great crossfield ball as well by Elliot Bolton, just come on the pitch, really precise 50 yard pass crossfield.
Dembele now for Dover, attacking down the left hand side. Weymouth have to be careful. He's showing some good footwork, getting it in for a shot to come in from Sutherland, which is blocked. And done now for Dover. Finds Akeworth, crosses it in, the keeper leaves it, rightly so. It's gone out for a goal kick, and it is still one apiece here at the Bob Lucas Stadium. 12.5 minutes on the clock, 1-1 here. In the Southern League, South Division Premier, Basingstoke and Didcot is 2 apiece. Dorchester are losing 1-0 at Chesham. Tottenham are goalless at Hanwell. Salisbury are 1 down at Hungerford. Poole are 1 up against Harrow. Sholing are now 2 down at home to Merthyr. Winchester are still 1 down at home to Hayes and Yedding. And Gosport still 3-0 up at Walton and Hersham. So Gosport in 3rd place will make ground on the leaders Salisbury if scores stay like that. Dan Wooden in double figures now for the season with his first half hat-trick. Double figures for league goals. He was already in double figures for goals in all competitions. Dover take a free kick quickly with George Wilkinson. Came out of the academy here, has impressed me the last 2 games I've seen him this season. Cross comes into the area, put behind, sliced behind by Jordan Thompson, and it is a corner to Dover Athletic.
Yeah, it's gone a bit dead again, the game, hasn't it? It really is really poor spectacle. Luckily we didn't have to pay to get in, Cliff, but it really is not easy on the eye, and you know, I still think there's a goal in this, and you know, it could go either way at this stage. It really could.
Neither team can afford to settle for a point though, so they're going to have to gamble. Bailey Akehurst to take this corner from the right hand side. Dover looking to take the lead here, delivered to the near post. Finds Nikaj, plays it back out to Akehurst, delivered into the area, headed away by Thompson. Pushing the back there, maybe, on the Weymouth player. Ref didn't spot it. Play carries on. Bearwish scythed down as he goes forward. That's got to be the game's, or got to be a caution. I don't think we've had one yet today, have we? That might be the first one for the foul on Tom Bearwish from Wilkinson.
Yeah, definite foul, definite caution. First yellow card, I believe, as you say, Cliff, as Dover make the change.
And George Wilkinson, I've been praising him all afternoon. He's the player they're going to take off and bring on Iffy Allen. Iffy Allen played for Yeovil and Torquay, amongst others, earlier in his career. While we're waiting for him to come on, it's a double substitution because Young is going to come on. Young for George Nikaj. Henry Young, who's come out of the youth team as well here. Several of the players have at Dover. They've maybe been forced to at times to use youth players. But 1-1 here with 9 minutes and 42 seconds on the stopwatch. It's going to check in on Wimborne Town because a win takes them top of the Southern League Division 1. They are still 1-0 up at home to Bishop's Cleeve. They had nearly 700 fans in at New Cuthbury, which is great. The best supported team in that division, and Bashley are the 3rd best supported team, even they are in lower mid-table, which is a bit of a surprise. But New Forest side Bashley were 0-0 at Yates Town today at half time. 3rd best supported team in the league, still 0-0 with 7 minutes to go there. It's 1-1 here, and both teams will be frantic to try and get a winning goal. Dover have a throw back parallel with their own 6-yard box. Seems to be one that's got away from Weymouth if they don't win this one. It's not to say Dover don't deserve a share of something today, but when Weymouth, they threatened to score, they did score, they threatened to score more goals, and they just went flat after conceding a bit of a bizarre equaliser.
Yeah, the heads seem to drop a little bit, and they've dropped off a little bit more. And, you know, you take nothing away from Dover. I mean, they deserve to be at 1-1 at the moment, and as I say, they'll be pushing for the win.
Parsons touches it off to Bearwish. The crowd urge him to have a shot. He's touched off to Howe, who's crossed it to the back post, where it's headed away by Oyanuga, and it's out of play for a throw on the far side, which Hamlin will take. Now, can he produce a long throw into the penalty area, Leo Hamlin? Into the area, Parsons on the edge of the box, turns, gets a shot in, across the face of goal and behind for a corner. The referee spotting that has taken a deflection on its way through, and it's a Weymouth corner. Not the best stat to put out at this time, Hutch, is that Weymouth have conceded more than they've scored in the last 10 minutes, and for Dover it is the opposite. But here's a Weymouth corner brought into the back post. Cook's header onto the roof of the net. It's gone behind for a goal kick. Not easy to get a header in there if the defender Cook. A nice jump from him. Not a bad header, but over the top for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's good delivery. It was good chip again, wasn't it? And Cook got on the end of it this time. And tough headed, to be fair. He was challenged, and it was always above him, and it was always going over the bar. But good delivery from good chip there. To say, you know, Weston-super-Mare got double header against them coming up. Be no easy feat at all. I saw them last year in the Pools League, and they're head and shoulders above anyone in that league. And it is going to be a really tough test for them. Said getting 7 points out of 9 in these 3 games. Well, we're going to have to go certainly to Western and get 3, and then bring them back here New Year's Day and get another 3, but looks unlikely on this performance.
Weymouth still attacking, thumping clearance out of defence by Charlie Naylor. Free kick to Weymouth for a handball by Dover as they were going forward on the attack. 6 minutes on the clock. Weymouth will be disappointed if they don't win this one. They've got a free kick in their own half and they've left it for the goalkeeper to take to push an extra player forward. Thanks to Terrace Statman Duncan Gardner for sending me lots of stats today. I haven't managed to get them all mentioned today, but always appreciated what he provides. The ball up into the area. Good header away by Naylor. As Weymouth now have to be a little bit careful. Cook gets it forward, but Dover get it away. Excuse me, Thompson clearing the ball. Excuse me. A couple of sneezes from the commentator. Thompson for Weymouth. Up over halfway, trying to find Toure. Dover get there first, but Dover just put it out of play. And it's going to be another change, and this time it's Dover who are going to bring on Baptiste for the closing moments. 22 for 9, so Zidane Sutherland coming off, Luke Baptiste coming on. Baptiste, a midfielder for a forward, although that may not indicate that Dover are going to settle for a point. Less than 5 minutes to go. Disappointing afternoon for Weymouth, who led through Goodship, looked pretty good at times for that lead, but conceded an unorthodox equaliser and have since struggled to assert themselves back on the game. Bearwish, Toure working well. Goodship with a shooting chance. Terrific save. It was goal bound, but David Azaya in goal has made another terrific save. Another corner for Weymouth.
Yeah, man of the match for Dover, Azaya in goal. Great opportunity for Goodship. Got it on his left foot. Great strike, to be fair. Couldn't do much more. An outstanding save from Azaya. What an opportunity to win it there for Weymouth with Goodship.
Corner to Weymouth. Time running out. Goodship delivers it to the near post. It's gone through everybody and somehow it's gone behind. I think it was Cook up there who... Ball bounced in front of him, he threw himself at it, headed it wide of the target, still 1-1.
Yeah, opportunity. So it was a great strike from Goodship. Hit the target, made the keeper work, but superb save from Azaya. So he's made quite a few in this game. Big, tall stature of a man. Hard to get past, but fortunately on this occasion for Goodship, he couldn't.
I reckon Weymouth, just looking back at my notes, Dover's goal was Mensah. Before that, Nikaj put a simple chance wide, but those are the only 2 chances of note for Dover. I know Dover have done a lot of attacking, but Weymouth have probably had 3 or 4 times as many chances. Haven't put them away yet. Here comes Bearwish. Nice ball to Goodship, edge of the area. Takes 1 touch, takes 2, dribbles it, shoots, and it slides wide. Somehow, of the bottom right-hand corner, he dragged it across the face of goal. Must have taken a deflection because it is yet another corner. And how close are Weymouth getting to getting that winning goal?
Yeah, again, superb from Goodship on the left-hand side. Creating the chance out of nothing, really, and he just dragged it past the post. It's obviously got a deflection on the way through, so whether it was going in, but certainly we know the man of the match for Weymouth is, and that's Brandon Goodship.
Goodship's delivery to the back post. Takes a bounce. Could be an opportunity. Weymouth have got to be careful not to lose this on the edge of the penalty. They have. Iffy Allen plays it out to the right-hand side. Weymouth win it back. Here we go. Down the left-hand side. Surging down is Hamblin, who has his heels clipped, and that is a foul, and that's got to be a yellow card. That's got to be one of the easiest decisions to make. Quite a professional foul to stop the player bursting down the left-hand side. And Scott Holding is the player shown the yellow card, the defender on loan from Watford. Weymouth free kick then, trying to win this game. We're in the final. We've got a minute to go. Brandon Goodship takes the free kick for Weymouth. Out on the left-hand side, 6 or 7 players. He's trying... Oh, the referee's blown his whistle. He's seen some push and shove off the ball in the penalty area. I don't know what we're going to see here, whether the referee spotted what happened, but there is a Dover player who's holding his leg, and this will delay the taking of the free kick as the referee sorts out what has happened here. 1-1, a minute to go. Weymouth have a free kick in a dangerous position. The referee has told the player to get up onto his feet, but he's not allowing the free kick to be taken yet. Dark night sky here now at the Bob Lucas Stadium. Can this be a late winner for Weymouth FC? Delivering the free kick into the air is Goodship, heading it away superbly is Sutherland, only as far as Goodship, and going to maybe fall to Hamblin, who blocks a clearance, but it's with 20 seconds to go, 4 added minutes. That's not very many. Some of the supporters deciding to get up and go, but 4 added minutes. Sometimes you see up to 10 these days, but 4, not much time left for either team to try and win this.
No, it certainly looks like Weymouth are in the ascendancy in these last 5 minutes spell they've had, but they've got to go for it. They really have just got to go for it. They need a win. A draw's not good. They need a win, and they've got to push on and go and get that winner in this next 4 minutes.
Quite a few draws lately for Weymouth. This was one they were expecting to win. Thompson has got it. What can he do? Going forward. Plays it out wide to Hamblin. That's a really bad pass. That's a poor pass. And they've just gifted, well, they're attacking for a late winner. They've given the ball straight back to Dover Athletic. And will Dover see this as a good point? Definitely it's not a good point for Weymouth. And the cheers, the applause at half-time might be replaced with some boos. I don't know. At full-time, let's see what happens in the remaining minutes of added time. Torre nods it on. And it's a nice ball from Parsons out to the left wing to Goodship. Brandon Goodship. Cross comes into the area. It's cleared only as far as Bearwish, edge of the area. Tom Bearwish, the captain. Will he find a way to shoot? He's in the penalty area now. Touching it out to Goodship. Manages to play it back again with a man on. Now they're working it outside. Bolton, Goodship into the area, cleared by Dover. Just not enough quality at the moment for Weymouth, who've now lost the ball and giving Dover a chance to break. And Thompson's got to be careful because Dembele is bearing down on the keeper's out. Benfield to the rescue, launches it down the left, and Goodship keeps it in. He controls it. We are running out of time here. Weymouth are on the ball. Bolton to Goodship to Hamblin. Here they come. Rutherford's in the middle if he can find him. Hamblin towards the penalty area. It's behind. It doesn't go behind in the end. It was going out for a corner, but the ball seemed to bounce and bobble and stayed in, and the keeper gathered it. Only one goal they've put past David Isaiah today. He has denied them 4 or 5 times with saves, and maybe we shouldn't be too critical on Weymouth. They've created more chances than Dover, but the goalkeeper has been in good form.
Yeah, he's been superb, the Dover goalkeeper. I was say as well with Hamlin, I think it's only second time he's really bombed down that left-hand side. It was a great tackle from the Dover defender, but game seems to be fizzling out now, and like you say, I think there'll be a few disgruntled fans at the end of this one. Everyone was really expecting them to win this, and they should be winning games like this. They really should if they're going to be in this league next season.
Well, there were times when they were a goal up and playing some good attacking football, threatening to score again. It didn't happen. The equaliser means that it's 1-1 deep into added time as Dover go on a final attack, maybe. Trying to keep it forward. Terrors clear their lines. It's a long up and under ball. The offside flag has gone up, so it's a chance for Weymouth to bring the ball out of defence for maybe one last attack. We had 4 added minutes. Let's take a look at the stopwatch. We are in the 4th added minute. It's nearly all up. Toure, what can he do? Out on the right-hand side for Weymouth. The forward's looking for help. He crosses it to the back post. It's overhit. It is out of play. And that is a goal kick. And that was a bit of a waste because in the 4th added minute, it looked for a moment like there was some hope, but it's petering out into a draw.
Yeah, not good enough, Cliff. Simple as that. I think there's players out there who are not good enough. Needs to get more quality in the side. Easier said than done, but you know, you look at my notes there. The only positive for Weymouth today has been Brandon Goodship. I think it's been superb, to be quite honest with you. Other than that, you look around the team and I can't pick one out really. Another one who's, Rutherford made a half-decent debut. He's looked lively at times, but had nothing really this quarter of the second half. And it's just disappointing. It really is, and I'm sure Bobby will be very, very disappointed he hasn't got 3 points out of this.
Well, the referee can blow his whistle any time now. It's in the centre circle. Dover on the attack. Weymouth get the ball back. Can they get it forward? They do. Up towards Toure. Controls on his chest. Backheels it. Can't find Bolton. Hamlin, though, gets onto the ball. Now, Goodship's out on the left-hand side. Time is up here. Can there be late drama? Is there late drama for Weymouth? Into the penalty area. A shout for handball as a defender for Dover blocks it in the area. Looked like his leg to me, but some of the Weymouth players closer appealing for handball. Now a ball up into the area. Offside flag is up on Rutherford. He doesn't know. He's trying to score what he thinks would be a winner, but the flag is up, and that is surely it. And if you had to mark everyone out of 10 today, there'll be lots of 5s and 6s, but not many 7s and 8s.
No, probably 1 7 8 in Goodship. I'd say 4s and 5s, to be honest with you, Cliff. Not 5s and 6s. It is a shame. Bobby can only go with what he's got and what he can work with and what he can get off the board to get players in. They've been very good in getting Rutherford in, getting Parsons in, getting Cook in. But I'm sorry, they need a midfield general, someone in there who leads things, orchestrates things, because they are so lacking in that department at the moment.
Well, that is that. The final whistle sounds at the Bob Lucas Stadium, and some boos, some applause, not like half-time when there was rapturous applause. It has finished 1 apiece here, and not the result either side wanted, and a big opportunity lost. When you're playing the team that's bottom of the table, that still haven't won since August, Weymouth looking to get away from trouble, have to win a game like this.
Yeah, got to beat teams like this, Cliff. Simple as that. They're going to go up the league. Dover, rock bottom of the league, a poor outfit, a poor side. I'm afraid Weymouth should have put that game to bed in the first half or early echelons of the second half. It didn't happen. Dover got back in the game. They were let back in the game by Weymouth, sort of poor defending from that corner. And again, they rallied at the end at times, but it's just, don't know, that they're just lacking quality. I know I go on about it, and I know it's hard when you've got a wee budget, but I don't know. It's all over the park. There's just lacking in quality. I can't put any more than that, really, Cliff. I really can't. I'm struggling to find other words, really. You want to try and be positive, put a positive spin on it. That's what we're here to do. But you can only say what you see in front of you. And again, it hasn't really been good enough today. Well, it hasn't been good enough. They should be beating teams like Dover, who are rock bottom of the league.
It's our job to say what we see, and we can't be told off for calling it as it is. Both sets of supporters will have their players go over to them. There's about 10 Dover's fans. Didn't hear them sing today, but they'll be going home with a point. Weymouth going over to see their supporters. Not all the final results are in, but if we take a quick look at the other scores in the division, victories for Slough. It looks like it's going to be victories for Slough, Bath City, Chelmsford, St Albans, Yeovil, Farnborough, Hampton, Hemel, Chippenham and Truro. Havant and Waterlooville were 1 down at Truro. The only other game drawn, Taunton and Tunbridge. If all those scores stay like that, the table shows Weymouth at least have improved their position actually in terms of points, because Eastbourne are losing to Yeovil. The gap between Weymouth and the bottom 4 is 2 points now, not 1, but they are still only 1 place above that dreaded bottom 4. And bottom club Dover, had they got a winner, would have gone above Havant and Waterlooville in the table. But to see Havant and Waterlooville in the relegation zone and Weymouth just outside Hutch, it's not really good for the non-league clubs of the south at the moment.
No, but quite amazed where Havant and Waterlooville are in the league, and obviously King's gone now, so be a reprocess there, and I'm sure they will get out of it. But let's concentrate on Weymouth and them getting results and points on the board, because they really do need it. We don't want a situation going into the last game like last season, having to win to stay up.
It could come down to that yet. It's finished 1-1 here today. Elsewhere, Bournemouth are winning in added time at Nottingham Forest, 3-2 in the Premier League. Southampton have won 1-0 at QPR in the Championship, extending a long unbeaten run. I think it's 15 games now for Saints. Portsmouth have only lost once in the entire league season. They are top of League One, but they are drawing 1-1 with Fleetwood. That game also in added time. Eastleigh still playing against Dorking and 2-1 up now. Dorking have got a goal back. If we look into the Southern League, South Division, let's take a look at the scores involving Basingstoke are losing 4-2 at home to Didcot. 9 games unbeaten for them. Dorchester are losing 1-0 at Chesham. Tottenham 0-0 at Hanwell. These games are all in added time. Salisbury, the leaders, have lost at Hungerford 1-0. Poole are still leading Harrow 1-0. Gosport have won 4-0 at Walton and Hersham. Dan Wooden got 3. Rafa Ramos got 1. Terrific win for Gosport. About the only highlight we've got really in that league. Winchester have got a late equaliser against Hayes and Yedding through Simba Malambo. We are still playing there 1-1. And so Poole, and of all our many teams in that league, Poole Town and Gosport Borough look like they've got the points. Wimborne Town will go top of Southern League Division 1 South if they win. They have won 1-0. Sam Griffin's goal sends them top for Christmas. Their next game, I think they've got Bashley at home at least on the 30th. Bashley have got a point on the road at Yates Town. Let's have a look. Also in that league, we've got Bemerton Heath Harlequins, Salisbury Bayside, who are the Wessex League champions, who are leading 2-1 at home to Tavistock. Last we saw in the Wessex Football League, Shaftesbury Town were the leaders at the start of the day. They were losing West Dorset Derby 2-0 at Sherborne last we saw. Brett Pittman's missed a penalty as well. He's the big marquee signing for Shaftesbury, former Pompey and Bournemouth forward. So Sherborne were leading Shaftesbury 2-0 in the Wessex League. At half-time, Moneyfields, playing as the home team but using the away stadium of AFC Portchester, were 2-0 up. They won 4-2. James Franklin with 2 of the goals, so local bragging rights in the Portsmouth area in the Wessex League go to Moneyfields, who've beaten Portchester 4-2. Portland United, let's check in on them. Not too far from here. They were 2 up at half-time. 3 points, clean sheet. They have beaten Christchurch 3-0 at the Camp and Satherley Stadium. And I've got to look in on Lymington Town, because they are bottom of the league with just a point to their name, but they were leading at half-time at Blackfield and Langley. Big shout out to them if they did hold on. I'm just going to check in on social media. I believe it is a result of Lymington. They've won 3-0 at Blackfield and Langley, so well done to the Linnets. They hadn't won this season, so just before Christmas they got a win at long last. Oh, Western-super-Mare, those are 2 tough games after a disappointment today. What's good enough for those 2 games? Away on Boxing Day, home on New Year's Day. 3 points enough? Is that realistic, or is it... I don't really know. I'm not that optimistic after today's result.
Yeah, well, I said before, today's game, if they could get 7 points out of 9 in those 3 games, that would be outstanding. Completely expecting them to get 3 points today, which they haven't. So, you know, maybe a draw away at Western and get 3 points here. They seem so inconsistent, Weymouth, with the performances, with the results. And it is a shame, but again, today it hasn't been inspiring at all. Very uninspiring, should I say. It really isn't good enough, and Bobby's got a lot of work to do on the training ground.